podcast episode 2.
Welcome back, if you've joined us again.
Don't forget to hit the cheeky subscribe button wherever you find it. Where are we now? We're on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, all the main stuff, YouTube. We now have an Instagram page, which is where a lot of Beck's friends found us. So that's awesome. Thank you everyone for following the page and watching the video. This video we decided that we'd talk about our relationship in particular. So do you want to start how we met?
It was back in the day. We actually met on Bumble.
Bumble.
So for those who aren't familiar with dating apps, Bumble, the girl has to message the guy first, which is quite daunting. But yeah, so you swipe through, have a look at them. Aiden had a photo with the dog, which I was so keen for. Turns out it wasn't actually his dog. It's a bit unfortunate.
Pulled a sneaky on you.
And I remember I messaged him on a Friday, and I literally just said, "Hey Aiden, how's your Friday going?"
Yes, and it wasn't my Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started 2 weeks worth of work in New South Wales doing night shift. So I was just really appreciative that someone was keeping me company. It was awesome. So I replied when I could. You would message, even though I'd slept all day, message me and...
Because I'm needy.
We're both guilty. But yeah, so I would reply early in hours of the morning when I was going to sleep. I wouldn't reply all day because I was sleeping during the day. And then you would message me again and just saying, hope you have a good night shift or whatever. I would wake up to that, and I just thought that was really nice. So I wasn't actually looking for a relationship. And when I came back to Brisbane, I thought... We should probably go on a date.
Yeah, it wasn't long after we were talking. What do you reckon? Maybe 2 weeks?
Maybe 2 weeks.
Maybe not even.
Yeah, it might have been like 12 days. I think it was Thursday the following week.
That we went on the date?
Yeah, so maybe 8 days. Anyway.
And how did you feel on our first date?
I don't like first dates. I like that we weren't eating. I don't like restaurants.
Yeah.
I don't...
I would never go on a first date and go out for dinner.
Yeah.
That's so awkward.
We've all done it though.
I've never done it.
You've never done it?
No.
Okay. Most people have done it. It's really awkward and I don't like it.
Because like, what if you want to leave and you're sitting there like, oh, no.
Well, I've never left mid-date.
No, I haven't either. But that's why I don't put myself in that situation.
You don't? Normally
I'd be like, let's go for a drink or let's go for a walk, which is exactly what we did.
Which is what we did.
Except you stitched me up because you're like, we'll get a coffee. I'm like, alright, sweet.
I said a beverage.
No, I think you said, no, you told me that you don't really drink. And
coffee.
And that we were going to get a coffee. And I was like, okay. So then when we get there, I ordered a coffee and then I said, after I paid for mine, are you going to get anything? Oh no, I don't drink coffee. I'm like, the fuck? And it was like 7 p.m. too. It's 7 p.m. on like a Wednesday or Thursday night. I'm having a bloody coffee.
That's how I got you. You stayed up all night thinking about our date?
No. Nana. I stayed up till like 10. That was pretty good.
Well, what happened when you first saw me? Please share.
So, because our first day was at Kangaroo Point, so we met at the cafe. If anyone is in Brisbane and knows where it is,
Familiar with Brisbane.
There's like a cafe at the top of the cliffs, and there's a big set of stairs there. So I was sitting in my car there, and I remember messaging my housemate because I saw someone walk past, and I'm like, I think that's him, but he walks like a fuckwit. And I sat in the car for like, I think a good minute or two, and I waited until he messaged me to say that he was there. And then it turns out it was him. He still walks like a fuckwit. But he knows it, and it's fine.
I have pigeon or duck feet, whatever it is, where your feet angle out when you walk, and apparently it makes me walk like a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
I've known about it since probably high school. It was about the first time I really heard about it.
It's pretty funny.
So
you just own it.
Yeah, I mean, it's how I walk. What am I going to do? Change it?
It's worse when you have your work boots on. We worked out the other day.
Yeah. I think it's because they're fat.
Yeah.
And I kind of, the way I swing my legs when I'm wearing them so they don't drag on.
It's so funny.
What's funny now, wasn't funny on our first date, apparently. We're now 10 months in. Sorry, 14 months in.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Bruh. We talked about this in the last episode.
And so we have decided to move in together. We're in the process of picking a place.
Which we just got, I just got approved to stay for an extra month in my place, which isn't, it's good, actually, because it gives us a little bit more time to find a place.
Yeah, there's
and not be stressed.
Couple of sticky situations that we're just trying to work around with. Your housemate, Charlotte, and I'm pretty lax here, but just in terms of where we might move, if we're all moving together, if we're not, all that is still yet to be really worked out, because we all want to live together, but then there's complications.
And everyone's trying to find houses as well with like the start of school and stuff. It's just shitty timing. So it's been good that we've been able to get the extension.
Actually, that's a good point. We would have already moved all together, all three of us, if we hadn't kept getting beaten to houses.
Yeah. Because we've applied for, I think, 3. This would have been our 3rd one on the weekend. Yeah.
Which I don't think we're going to get.
We'll see.
But anyway, you need to tell me, because I don't think I've ever even asked you this, the worst experience you had using Tinder or Bumble.
Like a long-term experience or like my worst date?
Let's go short-term singular date. If there is one. I don't think I have one.
I actually had pretty good experiences on all of them. Like, I don't think I had a bad date, really.
I asked this question with the intent of, like, pointing out what's wrong with dating apps, but I'm having a hard time seeing it now, because really every Bumble, I don't want to call them relationships because they weren't long enough to be relationships, but every interaction that I had on any of those dating apps would have ended the same way that any other type of interaction would have ended. It was kind of like, you start meeting a person, it just happened to be online, as opposed to at a gym or at a function or wherever else you might meet them, and then it ends the same way any of the others do, where you might just not have the same life goals, you might not be on the same
I think because we talked to them for so long though, right? We were talking for at least a week and a bit, and like, we message a lot. Even back then, we were messaging a lot. So we knew quite a bit about each other already.
Yes.
Whereas I think some people go on and they might only be on there talking to this person for a day before they meet up with them. So I think in those circumstances and those situations, it's going to be different to what we've experienced.
Yeah. I think we got lucky with that. We're both pretty quick to reply.
Yeah.
Which can be a problem for some people. Some people don't like to reply too often. Some people reply. Some people are on the opposite end of the spectrum, and I think we just have the same type of reply speed. Yeah. Which, as silly as it sounds, when you're starting to see someone, to date someone, it makes an important part, because this is the person that you're considering for your future, and how often you speak to that person kind of plays a part on your brain.
I mean, look at us now. If you don't respond to me for like 2 hours, I'm like, where are you? What happened? Did you die?
I went an hour and a half today. How did you feel?
I was in meetings all day.
Okay.
So like, I think the fact that we preface if we're busy is better.
Because I didn't tell you. I didn't know that I was going to have that
meeting.
I
was also in meetings.
Yeah, okay, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Remember that time, like recently, when you were coming back from work somewhere and you were meant to land at a certain time and you didn't. And then I like went full freak out mode.
Yeah, I can't remember what happened. For some reason the plane had to do laps of Brisbane for like 20 minutes.
So I was like messaging him, like text message. Then I checked when he was last active on like Facebook Messenger. I messaged him on there. And then like half an hour later he replied.
It's crazy.
A little bit. I was like, he's dead. Yeah. So, okay, well. Put that out to the internet and everyone.
I feel like if we keep... So the way we speak to each other now, in terms of how quickly, how we communicate in general, matches what you mentioned to me from old mate, what was it?
Tony Robbins.
And what did he... Do you want to try and make out the quote? Because I remember we tried to nut it out.
It's one of my favourite quotes. If you guys want to listen to any like motivational person, I would highly recommend Tony Robbins. I honestly love him. He has a quote that says, if you do what you did in the beginning, in the end, there won't be an end. So basically, in the beginning, it's all lovey and like amazing, and you're going to do anything for this person. He gives a really good example of when you first start dating, you're like, I'm going to take out the trash. Yep, let me take out the trash. And like, you're happy to help that person, of course. You get 5, 10, 20 years in, and I ask you to take out the trash, and you're like, I'm not taking out the trash, and like get all angry about it. Right, so
I feel personally attacked here.
no, that's just the example that he uses. So like, I think that that's a really good example, because it's like at the beginning, yeah, you would do anything for that person. Why would you not continue to do anything for that person? Why are you going to get frustrated about things that you would have done in the beginning when you were trying to woo them? So like, kind of staying in that honeymoon phase, which everyone knows it's going to end, but I think like keeping the, I want to say, this is going to sound really lame, but like keeping the passion alive and like making sure that you're making the other person feel loved all the time.
I don't think that's lame. I think that makes sense. I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to by that, but I definitely don't always.
Yeah. No one's perfect, but I try to do lots of little things. I try to do little things. There's little things that I try and keep up. Like I always like having water for you, and as weird as that sounds, like I like having water beside your bed. I like making sure that you have a charger. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous.
You always meet me downstairs when I come to your house.
I always come downstairs. Yeah, I always.
I don't anymore.
No, you just gave me a key and said, "Come on up." Yeah. What would you say the most difficult thing we've had to deal with so far is?
Just me.
Just you?
No.
You're not that hard.
No, but like my moods can be pretty bad. You've dealt with that very well. And I think also like challenges from previous relationships as well, where like those kind of things have come through and like triggered me when you haven't done anything wrong. And I think that you handle those situations really well.
Okay. I don't really feel like we've struggled with anything. Like, yeah, you get a bit moody sometimes. I don't want to take shots at you.
It's fine. Take shots. The people will love it.
You definitely have a short temper, which I do not.
Yeah, he's so relaxed, guys.
If no one's dying, it's a pretty good day. This move might be the big one. Might test some patience.
For you or me?
For me.
Like with how I am?
Yeah, because for those of you that don't know, Beck likes things done a particular way. And even if it may or may not be the fastest way, it doesn't matter, because Beck knows the way she would have done it. And if you don't do it that way, then she usually has something to say about it. And if I know how I'm going to do something, then that's the way I'm going to do it. And we're just going to have to see what happens with that.
I'm also a control freak.
Yes, that's what I mean. In terms of just, yeah, you know how you would have done it. So even if you're not physically doing it, you want it done that way.
It comes back to expectations. Remember I said to you the other day, like, if I expect something of you, you're not going to know that I expect that unless I tell you that.
Yeah, but also just because you expect it doesn't mean that it's the thing that I should do.
Yeah, I know. But if you are aware of what I'm thinking... Like
driving the wrong way to the shops, because that's the way you would have gone.
I don't drive the wrong way to the shops.
You drive the long way.
My way.
The long way.
Yeah, I don't really think... I mean, maybe the only other challenge would be we like different things, which is fine.
Yes, we do like different things.
But sometimes, especially in the beginning, I struggled with the fact that you wouldn't want to come out and have a beverage with me.
Yeah.
I think that's probably like one of the biggest things that we had.
Okay.
From my perspective.
Yeah. I haven't seen that to be an issue because I've been pretty stoked with everything.
I'm just so great.
You are. You're perfect.
It's a hard no for everyone watching at home. See this face.
Can you think of anything else? Is there anything anything else?
I
You'd
feel
to
like
cover?
we would have more than that. Like, we're 14 months in, and we haven't really had like a big fight about anything. But
No.
I think you're right. I think the move will be a little bit testing for us.
We quarrel.
But also when we had an an argument yesterday. We both drove separately to the gym.
Yeah.
This is about the extent of our fights, guys.
It's pathetic.
It's like
So,
I crack the shits because my own issues, and then.
But let's not dance around. Like you just weren't stoked about the clothes you were wearing, and
Yeah, I just felt really shitty in my body.
Just how you felt personally.
So then I took the shorts off that I had and I threw them away. I said, I'm not wearing these. I'm going to sell them. I don't like them anymore. And then
I asked a question.
And then I put my shoes on to go to the gym, and my toenail recently fell off. Like this one. Oh, you guys, people that are listening, my pinky toe now fell off. So when I put my joggers on, it really fucking hurt. And so then I'm like in pain, and he walks in.
I asked something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
you
it
said
was.
something, and then I just like cracked it.
Because of your.
Because my toe.
Because of my fucking foot.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, okay, he's up. Don't take it out of me.
And then I can't even. Oh, you were ready to go to the gym, and I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And then, so then we drove separately, and then we didn't really talk for like
The workout.
10. Oh no, we spoke.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I text him
You messaged me, yeah.
because we
weren't in the same part of the gym.
No, and then at the end of my workout, I went up and apologized.
Yeah, because just before we left to go to the gym, we hopped in the elevator, and you said to me, "Do you want to take separate cars?" And in my head, I immediately thought, "Well, no one in my car is going to be mad at me, so sure."
I was like, okay. And then I got to leave, and it actually worked out well.
It worked out well because I had to take a phone call from my mum, and then you were obviously done, and I wasn't because I had to take a phone call. So
yeah,
it worked out fine. Anyway,
it did.
You bowed, and I got my workout in before I came back.
Yeah, so that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, we
really.
don't really argue too much yet, but
we'll see how we go in a couple of months when we live together.
Because this podcast, we're not intending on educating anyone on how a relationship should be. We're just sharing our experience because obviously being 14 months in, we're not about to educate someone on what they should or shouldn't do in their relationship. I just think
especially if they've been
together.
10 years
Probably need to make that pretty clear.
Yeah.
That we're not intending on educating anyone.
We do want to talk about like what we think that we've learned, even from not just this relationship, but even from other ones. But I find it interesting looking back at past relationships that I've had in comparison to the one that we have. And I think, things that we do really well, we communicate very well.
Yeah.
If there's an issue, we're just going to say what it is.
We squash it.
So, yeah, we're going to kind of talk about that probably in a different episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, and probably like more broadly relationships, not necessarily just ours.
Yeah.
I think things that we've learned.
I wouldn't even mind doing a cheeky podcast where we just sit down. If it's on a Friday night, just you and me, crack a beverage.
No, we're going to bring Timon.
And just talk. Oh, and okay, yeah, we'll bring the turtle. The little man.
We're going to wait at least another 3 weeks. I'm on a no drinking, remember?
That's fine.
My first drink can be Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Maybe we should do it on Valentine's Day.
That's cute.
Oh, that's a cute.
Well, we could do an entire video.
Valentine's Day video.
Yep.
For those who would watch the video on YouTube, we are thinking of doing like a moving vlog thing.
It's just hard to get all the footage because we have to remember to put phones up and do time lapses and record in between drives and all that stuff. If for those of you that don't make videos, I'm not giving props to anyone whose job it is to make content because it's not a difficult job, but remembering to do it if it's not your job is the difficult part. I get in my car and I drive to where I was meant to go. Just it's fun. And then I get there and then I'm not thinking about recording, so it'll be fun. What's it? it was just the screens went to sleep.
Okay.
For those of you watching, the computer screens went to sleep. So Beck, you might have thought that my computer just turned off
Yeah,
mid-recording.
I did actually.
No, there's no issues. Everything's recorded. So we're 20 minutes in.
I think that's good. I think that's enough for episode 2. That
I think so.
has given us a good.
I'd go for hours if that's just how it went. But I don't want to make it too long for people that listening to podcasts might not be their usual thing. So.
And a 20-minute video is quite long.
It is. Yeah.
Too. Yeah, it's a long time.
All right. Well, do you have anything you want to add?
I love you.
I love you more.
He does this every time, and it's like a constant thing.
So, anyone watching or even just listening, I suppose, on whatever you're on, please subscribe. If you have anything you'd like to add, any suggestions, Beck's friend suggested that we use one camera. So we've done that. It's way better. The intent that I had was that the camera changing every time we spoke. So if I spoke, the camera would be on me. If Beck spoke, the camera would be on her. And then I settled for the 2 cameras because I couldn't make it chop and change. So, yeah, we'll run this until I work all that out, I think.
And I think until we move. When we move, the audio will probably be a little bit different.
Yep.
Potentially.
Get a better setup.
And the filming will be different. But yeah, we've got a couple of ideas about what the next couple episodes are going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's anything that anyone wants to hear our opinion on, you can comment or just let us know.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Whether it be Instagram message, YouTube comment, wherever you happen to see it, throw the comments.
And you can tell other people about it. Word of mouth, guys.
Yeah, hook your brother up. Share it.
Yeah. Listen to us talking shit.
Yeah.
Every week.
Every week. Right. Thanks so
Thanks,
much.
guys.